For all my stipple, I like to use a 3-round liner, 8 gauge long taper. The reason I use this particular needle, so I have been known to do quite a bit of stippling in my time, and I love it. And this is the ultimate guide on how to do it. So what is stipple? Well, stipple is a type of tattoo technique that, if done correctly, can produce some seriously beautiful work. All stipple involves is running your machine lower than what the recommended manufacturer's voltage is. So let's take a look at the machines and let's talk voltage. So if you're not new to the channel, this will come as no surprise. The first machine that I am using is the Bishop Wand Shader, and next we have the Bishop Wand Packer 4.2. Now I am using the Bishop Wand Shader for the majority of my stipple. The only time I am using the Packer is if I want a more textured look, but more on that later in the video. Next we have voltage. Now unfortunately, whether it be for stipple, lining, shading, whatever, I cannot tell you what voltage you should be using. There is just too many variables to determine a set voltage for everyone. This is something you are just going to need to discover by yourself. However, it honestly really isn't that hard to find the voltage that will work for you. All you need to do for stipple is bring your voltage way down and then start going up in increments of 1 until your machine kicks in. Every single tattoo machine has a startup voltage. You cannot put the voltage on, let's say 1 volt, and expect your machine to start. You might hit 5 volts and then your machine kicks in. Now some machines have a Kickstarter. I would recommend turning that off for stipple, okay? But go up in increments of 1, even 0.1s if your voltage allows it, until your machine starts, and then maybe just put the voltage up an extra volt or 2 and just go from there. But you are looking for what works for you. I may run at 5.5, you may run at 5.3 or even 6, who knows? But it's easy to find. Just do that and you'll be absolutely fine. For all my stipple, I like to use a 3-round liner, 8 gauge long taper. The reason I use this particular needle is because I want my needle to be as thin as possible. By using this needle in conjunction with the Bishop Wand Shader, what that does is creates the individual dots but brings them closer together, which creates a more smoother stipple shade. Some artists will often refer to this as pepper shading. Now whether I am using the Bishop Wand Shader or the Bishop Wand Packer, this is always my go-to needle. That being a 3-round liner, 8 gauge long taper. Now I use that needle because I believe that gives me the look that I want. However, if you use different needles, you will get different looks. For this demonstration, I'm using the 3-round liner, 8 gauge long tapered needle, and I'm using a 5-round liner, 8 gauge long tapered needle to show you the difference while using the same machine, that being the Bishop Wand Shader 3.2 stroke. So for the purpose of the demonstration, I've gone with a 3 liner and a 7 liner. I know this is supposed to be a 5, but a 7 is going to pick up on camera a lot better than what a 5 would. The needle I'm currently using for the demonstration is a P-Pax, the machine, Bishop Wand Shader, the voltage, 6 volts. As for the throw of the needle, just go with what you feel comfortable. And I'm currently using just black pigment by Empire. This fake skin's absolutely terrible, by the way, so this may take a little bit longer than I anticipated. So I'm just going to try and do this really quick just to show the difference. Now it's important that when you are finding your voltage, that your dots actually look like dots. You don't want dashes. So if you've got dashes, it means that your voltage is wrong, so just adjust accordingly. And if you don't want to adjust your voltage, then you can always just try and adjust your hand speed a little bit. And now we're onto the 7-liner. And there you go, guys. I hope you can see the difference between the 3-liner and the 7-liner using the Bishop 1 shader. It's really important that you find the look that works for you and your work. Just because I use a 3-round liner long taper, you may want to use a 3-round liner medium taper. You may want to use the 5, but just experiment and have fun with it. Just because it's called 3-liner stipple shading doesn't always mean you need to use a 3-liner. Now earlier on I alluded to using different machines for different looks. The shader for smooth and the packer for a more textured look. This is because of the stroke of these machines. For example, with the packer having a larger stroke, it packs more of a punch while I'm still running the machine quite slow, which puts the stipple in faster and with more intention. But not only that, because it is a larger stroke, that means that the needle is coming further up the tube, which means it's taking longer to come out of the tube, which in turn puts a spacing between the dots larger than what you would get with the shader. Now if I was to put that into an example for you, I would use the shader for faces and I would use the packer for skulls, let's say, and rocks and texture. But here's a demo of me using these two machines so you can see the difference in look that you get. Again, I will only be using one needle this time, the 3-round liner, 8-gauge long taper. So now I'm going to demonstrate the difference of what stroke does between the Bishop 1 shader and the Bishop 1 packer using a 3-round liner, 8-gauge long taper on both. Starting with the shader. Now I hope looking at this you understand the differences between the shader and the packer and why I would use the packer for a more textured look like skulls and I would use the shader for a more softer look like faces. So now we've talked about needles, the difference in needles, what different looks to bring, the machine voltage, what looks the machine stroke brings to the same needle. Let's talk about technique. So when it comes to stipple, like regular black and grey, I tend to keep my techniques the exact same. The only thing that ever changes is the look of the tattoo. That is it. But here's a little recap on technique. First up we have pendulum. This involves pivoting and moving in a back and forth direction, entering the skin at an angle and leaving at an angle. This is creating a fade on the entry and exit, and it's great for your blends. Then we have push. This involves entering the skin and pushing forward, creating a solid, saturated tone on the entry and a fade as you push forward as your hand progressively speeds up. This is sometimes often referred to as whip shading. Then we have pull, which is the exact same as push, just from the opposite direction. But fundamentally the movement is the same, you will just use push or pull based on the scenario that you are in. But those are the three main techniques that you will be using. When I am stippling, I am treating stipple the exact same as I do with regular black and grey. With stipple, I am still layering up and building up my tones. That way, whether it's black and grey or stipple, I'm still creating the blends that I want. I'm also working from bottom to top. The only real thing that changes when it comes to stipple is my stencil. I just don't put as much detail in. With stippling, smaller details can be lost because of the texture that stipple creates. However, do not get it twisted. I'm not saying that I don't put texture in. I definitely do put texture in, just the larger textures that you can see through the stipple. And with that, that is my ultimate guide to stipple tattooing. What you have learned today will be enough to get you started, but now it's up to you to go out and discover what stipple tattooing is all about. If you have enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like it. Likes really do help. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Do not forget to turn on that bell also. Peace out. Muchest love. If you are still here, that's fucking awesome. Thank you so much. But if you want another video to watch, I highly recommend my ultimate guide to shading. Check it out.